Good morning. This is X-Pulse AI Morning Mix. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2026. We've got Apple quietly building model choice into Siri, NVIDIA lining up gigawatt-scale compute in South Korea, and a messy fight in Washington over who gets to regulate AI. Orion's here. Ready?
Ready. Let's jump in.
The Next Web reported on June 14th that researchers digging through the iOS 27 beta found a Siri extensions framework, code that suggests Siri could route questions to third-party models like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and Anthropic's Claude. Orion, what's actually in there?
It looks like real plumbing, not just a stray comment. The framework implies Siri could hand off certain requests to an external model provider, likely with a permission and routing layer. Apple didn't show it at WWDC, and it's not publicly enabled, so think capability present, not feature shipped.
Why would Apple keep that out of the keynote?
Two reasons: control and readiness. If the experience isn't consistent, latency, cost, safety filters, privacy guarantees, Apple won't want to promise it. Also, model choice changes the product story. It turns Siri from Apple Intelligence into more of a broker, and that's a big messaging shift.
If this does launch, what changes for users day to day?
Potentially, better answers in the moment Siri struggles, long-form writing, complex reasoning, coding help, because Siri could pick a stronger specialist model. The flip side is governance. Apple will need clear controls so users know when a request leaves Apple's stack and what data gets shared.
Data Center Magazine wrote on June 15th that NVIDIA, during a Seoul visit, lined up agreements with SK Hynix, SK Telecom, LG Group, Naver, Doosan, and Hyundai to plan gigawatt-scale AI data center capacity. Orion gigawatt-scale is a lot. What's the story?
It's a coalition play. Chips, telecom, industrials, internet platforms, and heavy manufacturing all aligned around building massive regional compute. Gigawatt-scale signals multi-campus grid-level planning, power procurement, cooling, and supply chain. NVIDIA isn't just selling GPUs, it's helping shape national-scale infrastructure.
Is this about sovereignty or just demand?
Both. Demand is real. Training, inference, and agentic workloads are exploding. But regional capacity also reduces dependence on overseas compute and tightens integration with local suppliers like SK Hynix on memory. South Korea wants to be a hub. NVIDIA wants anchor customers that build big and build fast.
Who benefits most if this materializes?
The local ecosystem gets a flywheel. Hyperscale-style compute attracts model builders, enterprise AI, and robotics. NVIDIA benefits because once you standardize on their stack, hardware, networking, software, you tend to keep buying increments. The constraint won't be ideas, it'll be power, permitting, and timelines.
Yahoo Finance reported on June 13th that NVIDIA will deploy 72 megawatts of GPU infrastructure in Australia via a partnership with Sharon AI, using a recurring, usage-linked revenue model instead of big upfront hardware sales. Orion, translated plain English.
It's closer to GPU capacity as a service. Rather than customers buying racks outright, NVIDIA ties revenue to how much compute actually gets used. The partnership structure is described as capital efficient, so NVIDIA can scale deployments without every deal being a giant one-time purchase order.
What's the strategic bet for NVIDIA?
Two bets: expand the market and smooth revenue. Usage-based models lower the barrier for customers who can't or won't front-load capital, and it makes NVIDIA participate in ongoing upside as utilization grows. GPUs as a subscription, like Netflix, but louder.
Any catches enterprises should watch?
Metering and lock-in. Usage pricing can be great until workloads spike or accounting gets messy. Buyers will want transparent measurement, predictable tiers, and clear portability terms. Also, this can shift procurement from IT CapEx to OpEx, which changes approvals and budgeting.
Politico reported on June 13th that Republican factions are publicly split as Congress weighs a federal AI framework and the White House pushes to preempt state AI laws. Orion, what's driving the split?
It's a clash between one national rulebook and let states set boundaries, plus disagreements on how strict federal rules should be. Some, like Senator Josh Hawley, argue for tougher controls or preserving state authority. Others back preemption to avoid a patchwork that's hard to comply with.
Where does child safety fit into this?
Preemption is reportedly being tied to child safety legislation and broader AI policy. That linkage raises political temperature because it blends a widely supported goal, protecting kids, with a contested mechanism blocking state laws. It can turn a technical governance debate into a high-stakes bargaining chip.
So, what should companies plan for right now?
Uncertainty. You may get a federal framework, you may get 50 different flavors, or you may get both, federal baseline plus state add-ons. Practically, teams should map obligations by state, keep model governance auditable, and design compliance controls that can tighten quickly without rewiring products.
Business Insider reported on June 15th that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella warned AI winners could hollow out entire industries, and he called out costly internal habits, specifically tokenmaxxing, or overusing model tokens. Orion, what's he getting at?
2 layers. Macro, if a few dominant model providers absorb enough know-how, they can compress value chains, making whole categories less profitable. Micro, inside companies, people can burn enormous budget by prompting without discipline, running long chats, redundant runs, or oversized contexts because it feels frictionless.
Tokenmaxxing sounds painfully real. How do teams reduce it?
Treat tokens like any other cloud cost: budgets, monitoring, and sane defaults. Use smaller models for routine tasks, cap context windows, cache results, and build evaluations so you don't rerun prompts endlessly. Token maxing is doom scrolling for your budget.
Does this change Microsoft's product direction?
It nudges toward efficiency tooling, better cost visibility in Copilot and Azure AI, routing to the right model, and more guardrails. As AI spreads, the winners won't just be best model, but best unit economics at scale.
A few fast ones to keep on your radar. MarkTech Post reported on June 14th that Z.AI released GLM 5.2 with a usable 1 million token context window plus 2 thinking effort levels, but no third-party benchmarks yet. Orion worth paying attention to?
Yes, with caution. 1 million tokens can unlock real workflows, massive code bases, litigation-sized document sets, but usable depends on retrieval quality, latency, and cost. Without independent benchmarks, assume it's promising, not proven. Still, long context competition is clearly accelerating.
And Times of India reported June 13th that Jeff Bezos-backed Prometheus raised $12 billion in a Series B, valuing it around $41 billion. For listeners, what does Prometheus even do?
Reportedly an AI company co-founded by Bezos and Vic Bajaj, positioning around large-scale model and infrastructure ambitions while claiming no corporate ties to Amazon or Blue Origin. The headline is the financing. $12 billion in one round is enormous, but details matter: revenue, compute access, and what's actually shipping.
Meanwhile, Futu News says Apollo and Blackstone completed about $35 billion in private credit for Anthropic, collateralized by chips, and Indexbox projects AI infrastructure spending tops $700 billion in 2026. What connects these dots?
Hardware is becoming financial engineering. If chips are the scarce asset, they become collateral, and credit becomes a way to scale faster than equity alone. Pair that with $700 billion plus in spending, and you get an ecosystem where compute is both a product and a balance sheet strategy.
That's X-Pulse AI Morning Mix for Monday, June 15th, 2026. Share it with someone who wants the signal, not the noise. See you next time.